Afternoon or good morning or good late morning, depending where you are watching. My name is Jenny. I am the owner of Be Tactile and oversee Tactile Treasures, which is a all abilities program for being able to make handmade greeting cards for all abilities. It comes with video, audio, and written instructions. Depending how you learn best, it's available. So I thought we would just do, excuse me, an unboxing for July and get right into it. The July box launched early today. That way, if you're traveling or might not get it, whatever, it's going to launch today, partially because we may be traveling next week. And I want to make sure that everything is out the door before that. So we're going to get into it. If you have any questions, please let us know. The subscription box is a quarterly box. So every 3 months it ships out 4 boxes a year. There are several subscription options. You can just try it out one time and see what you think and tell us what your thoughts are. There's a quarterly subscription, so it's just automatically billed every 3 months, so you never miss it. You always receive it. And then there's an annual subscription where you pay one time for the 4 boxes. So it would start in July for this box. So you'd be billed for between now and July whenever you sign up. You'd pay for October's, you pay for January's, and then you pay for March. And then it would auto renew if you wanted to next July. So that's a little of how that works. All pieces in the every box, unless you don't want it to be, are pre-adhesive to the back. So you can just peel off that adhesive and plop that piece down where it goes. So we are gonna get into it. I'm going to walk through an unboxing for Tactile Treasures, and if you have any questions, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer them. There should be a link for the box that is live now. So if you're interested, go ahead and order so you don't miss out. So let me see if I can turn this around. Here we go. All right. All right, so I have the cards that are pre-created, but we are gonna go ahead and just adjust things here a little bit. This is always the hardest part. There we go. All right, so every box, there are 6 cards. And typically there's the same design. Sometimes there's color variation. Because it's this summer, I thought it would be fun to make all 6 of these cards have a child's theme to them for those kiddos that are out at home with mom or whoever, to make just have something fun to do to keep them distracted for maybe a moment. So there's always 6 cards, 3 separate designs. And then all the pieces are pre-cut, all the materials are pre-cut. This box, I did pre-apply a few pieces, and we'll walk through that here in just a moment. So we'll walk through the cards pre-assembled at the end, but it's a kit to make cards. So that's what we're gonna walk through. So our box, before I get into it, on the front it reads Tactile Treasure in Braille, so you know when it comes in the mail that it's your special Tactile Treasure box. And then on the side it has the QR code with the logo for Be Tactile. And it's a white box, so I'm gonna open it here, and then there's an embossed sticker holding the tissue paper. So I'm gonna gently open the tissue paper and hope nothing fell out. Now here's the deal. I am fully sighted, but Be Tactile was originally created for the blind community to be able to access paper greeting cards to make them for the very first time. So I am in the process of learning how to read Braille, but to not make this a really long video, I thought I would pre-label them. So the first envelope, it says, this should be Ocean Friends. Yep, it is. So So it's See Friends. That's what threw me off. I started to learn to read some Braille, and I was like, that's too long, or that's too short for Ocean. It's See Friends. That's what we have on our 2 Ocean cards, is it says See Friends. So this first one, I'll move a few things out of the way. So all your envelopes in the box when they arrive will be, the back will be towards you when you open the tissue paper. On the back of the envelope, where the flap is, will be the Braille for each card. So the 2 Ocean Friend cards, we went ahead and put See Friends on the outside. There is a little bit of variation in most of the cards, but on the envelope. So when I pull out my pieces carefully, trying not to miss anything, there's several things that may be on top or stuck in the envelope. First off is our greeting. And your greeting in Braille is either, if you choose, that's the other thing, you get to choose if you want a Braille greeting in your box or if you want no Braille greeting. So this card says, here's to you, make a splash. So your Braille may be in 2 pieces. That way you can put here's to you on one part of the corner of the card and make a splash in another area. Or if you want, you can cut it or have someone help you cut the Braille greeting. So we have the Braille greeting. The other thing that I made sure we did this quarter, it was highly requested in the first box in April, was that there was some way to identify the orientation of the card and how the pieces should go on there. So what we did is the top, wherever the top middle of the card base is, there's a Braille dot, so you can identify the top middle of the card base to understand the orientation of the pieces. So we have a card base, and then our greeting that says, here's to you, make a splash. It's embossed with gold ink, and then it's on a white background. These also have embossed there is a Braille marker on the top middle of both pieces, so you can lay those down wherever you would like. There's also a coral reef piece. You'll see that the bottom part of the coral reef has 2 kind of flat pieces, and there's pieces on there to identify rocks on the left side, and then some kind of stick-like ridges on the top part towards the right. Then we have a hammerhead shark. The Braille dot is towards the left side. It's got some grooves on it. So the Braille dot is there kind of in between the eyes and the 2 sides of the ears, I guess, on the hammerhead shark. I'm sure they don't have ears. And then we have our pink dolphin, also embossed with that gold embossed powder and ink. And then our Braille dot is towards the top middle again, just after the hump on the dolphin, and then where the fin is. So that's where that Braille dot is. So that's our first card, here's to you, make a splash, from our See Friends. So I'm gonna just put that to the side. The second one for See Friends, we're gonna carefully pull out all of our pieces. There's not as many on this one. Again, we tried to design it to have one card that didn't have as many pieces, or a little easier if a child was doing them, or if you wanted to even gift them to a child that enjoys to make stuff. So our next card, my Braille dot is towards the top middle. And then this one says, for our second Ocean Friends, or See Friends, it says, here's to you. Some of the Braille on your greeting may have more than one Braille dot to help identify the placement. And then our greeting says, here's to you in Braille if you choose the Braille. The hammerhead shark, the Braille dot is in a similar place. And then same with the dolphin. And then Next are our woodland creature cards. The first card is our brown cat. Again, your envelope the back will be at the top of the envelope. I'm going to carefully pull these pieces out. So this one, our Braille dot is towards the top middle. We have our Braille greeting as one whole piece. Now the greeting on this card says, "Sweet friend, here for you always." The Braille currently is our easy basic Braille, the non-conjugated one. So yes, the greetings are a little longer. Share with us if you're interested in the Braille, maybe, you know, which one that you prefer, because that will also help us make some decisions down the road with that. So we have our greeting, and then we have a cat. There is an outline embossed with the cat. He's got some kind of fluffy grooves on both sides, and then he's got a little tail that sticks off to the right, and then his feet are on both the bottom, both the left and the right. And then he's holding, or he or she, whichever you want, your brown, light brown cat is holding a flower pot with a pretty flower coming out. And then there's an orange kind of half circle oval background that can go under that if you would like. Our next card is similar. It's our blue bunny, and the cat in the bunny envelope will say blue bunny or brown cat. And then our card base has our Braille identifier top middle of the card. We've got our Braille greeting that says thanks for everything. And the greeting is in pink on a white background. And then our bunny is dark blue with pink embossing to match our greeting. And then there's also it's also going to have a little background piece that goes under this too. So that's how that one looks. Your background behind the cat and the bunny will either be yellow or orange. Our last two that I just pulled out of the box are our fun turtle theme. Now, if you're experienced with Expression Studio that started last year, there's some really fun pieces and elements we brought back from that full program that everyone enjoyed so much. So we have these two themes, again, matching if a child is interested or you want to gift it to a child also. There's a balloon with a black embossed tracing around it. There's a glitter turtle, and all of these still have their Braille pieces to help identify on the card base. The glitter turtle, the glitter paper we use, the glitter does not come off. So I'm rubbing it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not coming off. It doesn't come off at all. And then this one has some fun stuff. We have 3 hexagon, very small embellishments. They're smaller. I would say they're 1/4 of a size about of my pinky. So just take your time with these pieces as you move through them. And then the greeting says, it's okay to take it slow. And then we also have that in Braille. This piece may be in 1 or 2 pieces. Again, that way you can place it throughout your card base if you choose the Braille. And then, excuse me, this one has a designer paper background to be attached to your card base, whether you choose to use it or not. This one is kind of fun. It matches just kind of some summer fun. There are several different variations, but this one has a turtle barbecue guy that is flipping some burgers. And then there's another turtle that's got on floaties to go swimming and a snorkeling piece on his head. There's some beach balls throughout this one. There's a sand castle, some seashells, and a little piece of a grill. Some other ones show some turtles checking on bees. There's like a beehive like one. There's one that's also gardening, just to kind of really add that element of taking it slow in the summer, whether we're an adult or a kiddo that just needs to take it easy for a moment. So just adding into the layer of that doing Tactile Treasure is fun and relaxing and whatnot. This last one, I hope you enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun to figure out what we were gonna do for July. I had one piece that got stuck. I had to pull that back out. So we have our card base. When you pull out your pieces, you're gonna feel this fun embossed background, which means that the layers are raised just a little bit, and they're hexagons. And they all kind of flow into the next hexagon on this paper. We do hand emboss these with a machine here, and this hexagon material background really fits well with the turtle. For us, it looks like the hexagons on these resemble like a turtle shell that you would see on a turtle. So we really try to focus on one card being like our focal point of the box. The embossed paper came with ribbon, and so the ribbon has been pre-attached to the background to make things a little simpler. If this was your first time doing this, we did not want to overwhelm you, or maybe you didn't feel comfortable doing that. So that is there. On the back of the embossed paper, you'll feel some other notches. Instead of the adhesive sheets, there's foam adhesive. So the adhesive back comes off just the same as on the adhesive pieces. And we'll walk through all of that in our video. Once you subscribe, you get access to the video and the audio and the written instruction. And we'll talk about some tips to go through that. Our greeting is on a white background, and the words hooray are in like a navy blue, kind of black, and some gray hues. Again, it has our Braille dot to signify where that goes. Then we have a chef's hat. It's kind of on the bottom. It almost feels like a crescent moon upside down. And then there's 3 grooves that almost feel like a cloud. And then we've got a turtle, and his arm kind of pulls out. So be careful when we're touching that and getting ready to take off our adhesive to make sure nothing comes apart. And then, of course, since he's at a barbecue, I'm assuming making some burgers or whatever we're having, he needs an apron. So the apron has a little strings at the top for tying, and then the side is straight that kind of grooves into what an apron feels like, and then the bottom is a little circular to represent how it goes on. The apron should almost fit just right on to the turtle once you have the adhesive backing off to attach it. And then we have our Braille greeting for the turtle. So those are the 6 cards. I hope you really like those. We are going to go into what they look like to give you an idea. And again, if you have any questions, or you're watching this again and you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, please let us know. So the hooray turtle, it has an embossed background that are hexagons, and each hexagon just kind of floats in the next one to feel like the turtle shell on the turtle. There's ribbon on it also. It has 2 colors. The ribbon is soft and shiny, and that is pre-attached, so you don't have to worry about that. We have the chef hat with the turtle and the apron. And then the next one was Take It Slow. We've got the designer paper background, and then the glittery turtle with the balloon. And then we have the Thanks for Everything from our Woodland Friend pieces. So we've got the bunny, and you can really feel that embossed ink that's on there with the background that goes behind it. And it says, thanks for everything. The one thing we haven't talked about is the back of the card. There's the QR code with the logo. There is Braille on the back that says QR or QR code on it to identify, to let you know that you can scan that for more information. And then the next one is Sweet Friend, Here For You Always, with that brown cat with the black embossing of the detail. And then the last two are our sea friends with the hammerhead shark and the dolphin. And the sea friend cards are embossed with gold. And then the last one is Here's to You, Make a Splash, with the coral reef that we couldn't leave it off. It seemed too much fun to leave off the card when we were making some decisions. So these are the 6 cards. I'm gonna take a look and see if anyone has some questions I can answer. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please feel free to message us and we can help you get set up for the July Tactile Treasure Box. Have a good one.